What could possibly go wrong with authorized users? A lot if you're not careful. In this video, we'll take a deep dive into all aspects of being added or adding an authorized user. Some credit experts call it piggybacking. I'm Cap, and welcome to Screaming Lincoln's Consumer Credit Series. Credit scores have been around for decades. One loophole in the credit scoring algorithm has always been authorized users, or piggybacking. An authorized user is someone that is added to a primary account holder's credit card. They piggyback on the good credit history of the primary account holder and benefit with an improved credit score. Do not confuse authorized users with joint account holders or co-signers. There are many reasons to add an authorized user, but there can be as many reasons to not add one without the right credit strategy in place.
Dude, can you just get to the part where you show me how to get a 100-point increase in a few days on my credit score already?
If you want a quick 2-minute version, go to another channel or countless other blog sites. Good luck asking them why your score didn't go up 100 points. Piggybacking your way to a 100-point credit score increase is possible for authorized users, but only in certain situations. First, the authorized user's existing score, if they even have one, must be very low to start with. If the authorized user's existing credit score is already at 700 plus, the increase won't be as significant.
Okay, low or no existing credit score. Check. Now what?
Know what to look for on a primary account holder's credit card you're being added to as an authorized user. Here's a rundown on red flags and ideal conditions to be aware of when piggybacking. First, how long has the account been open? If it's less than 2 years, I'm passing. If I had no other options from anyone else to be added as an authorized user, then okay, I'd likely be added because it's better than nothing. The sooner I can get my credit history established, the better, by any means necessary. You will hear this sooner than later mantra regarding credit history a lot on the Screaming Lincoln's channel. Ain't no time like yesterday to get started or start rebuilding. Longer credit histories are preferred. Anything over 10 years is gold. If I live with someone I can trust that had a 10-year-old credit card, I'd definitely work out an agreement to get added as an authorized user if I had no credit history or was rebuilding credit.
How long does it take for the authorized user account to show in my credit history?
It could take just a few days. It may take 4 months. It all depends on your situation.
4 months? Why so long? And how come I see other bloggers hype up how it takes just a few days?
It's possible for the piggybacked account to show in an authorized user's credit history in a few days. There's no foolproof way to ensure this happens every time, but it can be helped along with the right approach. First, see if the lender provides proof the authorized user account gets reported in the piggybacker's credit history. Sadly, bloggers and online forums are a much better resource than calling the lender and asking their phone agents directly. Second, check if any of the consumer credit reporting agencies have already started your credit file. It's shocking how easy one gets started without you even knowing it. There are way too many ways to create one. It's usually buried in the terms and conditions of applications most of us have to complete for necessary things like what is shown here. Don't rush through these things because that's how deviations in credit histories happen. Make sure the information contained in the existing file exactly matches your authorized user information. You must confirm the spelling on the name and address. I don't even like it when I see one lender report an address as street while another lender has it listed as lane. Nope, fix it. I can't have any discrepancies. Even minor, unimportant omissions like appending apartment numbers in a different format can create issues, so keep it consistent. Credit algorithms are not human and rely on matching information to connect the dots. When something is off, it can potentially throw everything off and reduce the chance of the authorized user account appearing in the piggybacker's credit history. Footnote: be aware of the addresses of the primary account holders when piggybacking to improve credit. The addresses of these primary account holders will appear in your credit history. This information will be visible to other lenders as well as other entities known to check credit like insurance companies, landlords, and utility companies. Having too many addresses appear in your credit file is a red flag. You can always request to have these removed later, but it can be a tedious process. That's why I stick to people I've lived with or heavily associate with. End note. If I had a total blank slate for a credit report and had somehow avoided creating one just by living a normal adult life, then I've got an assessment to make. If I decide to start my credit history by piggybacking, I want to be sure the lender asks for unique identifying information about me, like a social security number. I've personally confirmed American Express, Bank of America, Discover, and US Bank require a social security number when adding an authorized user. So I'm okay starting my credit file through piggybacking with these lenders. Otherwise, I'm more likely to start my credit file by simply applying for a credit card on my own, then coming back to the piggybacking method later. A denial may result when I apply on my own, but the credit file is started, which increases the chance of the piggybacking method working when my information from the authorized user account later matches my credit file.
Don't you have to be related to be added as an authorized user?
Nope. Trade lines are big business in the credit repair world. Some repair companies charge hundreds of dollars to be added as an authorized user to a solid credit line. For a small number of people out there, paying is an option that makes financial sense if it results in huge savings. Pay hundreds now to save thousands in the long run.
I'd take that deal.
I don't blame you. Damn good deal.
So we got lengthy credit history covered. What else?
Derogatory marks. Can't have any.
Hold on. Derogatory marks?
In this context, derogatory marks are instances where the primary account holder missed a payment and was at least 30 days late in paying. If I'm added as an authorized user, I want to be sure there are no derogatory marks on the credit card for the past 8 years. There are ways to get derogatory marks removed, but that's a long topic for another video.
Whoa, 8 years? This ain't no prison sentence.
In a way, yes, it is. Once a lender reports a missed payment, it stays on a consumer's credit report for 7 years. If it ends up in collections, then another 6 months is added, so it's almost 8 years when collections are involved. Lenders look for any reason to inflate interest rates and create unfavorable terms. A low interest rate or high sign-up bonus will be very difficult for someone to obtain with missed payments in their credit history. Best bet is to steer clear of being added to credit card accounts that have missed payments and have a clean payment history instead. There are cases where it's not the end of the world to have a missed payment or two, but again, that's another video topic.
Lengthy credit history, clean payment history. What else you got?
Make sure the credit utilization ratio is kept low.
Come on, bro. Credit utilization ratio? How about in English?
Credit utilization ratio means how much of the credit line is used. You don't need a big credit line, although it doesn't hurt to have one. What matters most is keeping the amount of credit used very low.
So I have to make payments immediately after charges post or even prepay? Do lenders report balances in real time or something? Because this topic is getting stressful.
Almost all lenders report just once a month, typically when the statement period ends. A few lenders won't report at all, especially if there's no activity to report. Don't confuse the statement period end date with the payment due date. A few lenders report balances as of a certain time of the month, like the beginning or end of month. Once you know when the lender reports, plan your payment strategy accordingly to reduce the amount they report to the consumer credit reporting agencies. I'll have another video going over a few other finer points around credit utilization, but this is a summary on credit utilization ratio for now.
All right, that covers credit utilization, payment history, and lengthy account history. Please tell me that's all.
Of course that's not all.
Oh, come on with the come on.
Put that away. Get focused for a second, because the steps you take now with your credit can set you up later on. Credit repair companies and experts can easily charge hundreds for the free information in this video. Like knowing which lenders don't report authorized users would be useful information to know before starting a credit journey, right? HSBC has been known to not report authorized users. It won't hurt to be added if they don't, if you remember the criteria mentioned earlier. If you find a lender that doesn't report, they simply don't report. So just move on to another lender. American Express is notorious for reporting, but they do not include the full credit history of the primary account holder. I won't go into the additional benefits and perks of being an American Express cardholder, but know that if you're added as an authorized user to an American Express credit card, it will only show as a fresh new account in your credit history without the full prior history of the primary account holder. It's better than nothing, but other lenders help your credit score better with the piggybacking authorized user method. Footnote: American Express targets authorized users for bigger sign-up bonuses, especially if you're a new customer. Something to keep in mind as you progress in your credit journey. End note. Nearly all the bigger lenders will report to some, if not all three, of the consumer credit reporting agencies. Smaller banks and credit unions may not report authorized users at all. It helps to ask when being added, but most customer reps won't know for sure. Unless they provide it in writing, just assume it's not guaranteed to report. All the big lenders have consistently shown to report.
But how do lenders know it's me if I'm just being added as an authorized user? I've read in some online forums that some of these lenders don't even ask for a social security number.
Excellent question, and it comes up often with the piggybacking method. Lenders will use your name, date of birth, and address to cross-match with the billing address of the primary account holder across various databases. Some of these databases are public, others are private, like your credit report. When a match is made, a credit identifier link is established, and you've got yourself an entry in your credit history as a result. Some people that are unsuccessful with the piggybacking method usually have some discrepancy with their information not matching. It's important to get your name and address spelled correctly. The name and address information reverberates throughout the credit sphere, which spans many data hubs and consumer agencies. Lenders use these hubs and agencies and may reject applicants even for a simple misspell on their applications. That's why I only ask people I live with or have lived with in the past if I could be added as an authorized user. There are ways to get around having a different address when using the piggybacking method, but that's a separate topic for another video. When I'm looking to piggyback, I always start with addresses I've been associated with, and we'll ask those people with those same addresses if we can work out an agreement for being added as an authorized user, assuming the credit card meets the criteria. For those under 18, American Express, Barclays, Discover, and US Bank all have varying age requirements as low as 13 years old. If you're under 18, there's not much downside because the worst that can happen is it won't report. Let me know if you tried piggybacking and were under 18 when you did. Who was the lender? How long ago was it? About how many months later did it show in your credit history? Inquiring minds, let me know in the comments.
Whoa, I had no idea about the whole name and address thing. Let's assume I found someone I live with that has the perfect credit card. I'm talking 30-year history, squeaky clean payment history, huge credit limit, the whole nine. Can I piggyback my way to an 800 credit score?
Yes, it's possible your score can hit 800, provided you've got all the boxes checked. Footnote: be aware that credit scoring algorithms get updated over time. The criteria used with each iteration can change. FICO scoring is the most used credit model. It's had many iterations over the years, with FICO 9 being the most recent. Since FICO 9's announcement in 2014, it's being used by more lenders every day as they update their scoring models. No one can say for sure what credit score you'd get with strategic piggybacking, but as of the latest scoring models, becoming an authorized user on the right credit card still goes a long way in improving credit scores quickly. End note. Lenders are getting more savvy at weeding out applicants that are using the piggybacking method. Credit accounts that show in credit histories do show if the account is a primary account or authorized user account. So while it's possible to achieve an 800 credit score through piggybacking, there's still additional hurdles to overcome with lenders that impose their own stringent credit review processes that extend beyond having a great credit score.
Wait, so you're telling me I can be denied even though I got an 800 credit score?
Yes, and it's a recurring theme you find in the credit card churning community. Lenders are not dumb. They know consumers are gobbling up credit hacking information from bloggers all the time. There's additional tools to use which help with approvals in cases like these. Keep watching the Screaming Linkage channel to learn more.
What else should I know about piggybacking? I always wondered if the primary account holder had other credit cards with missed payments that I wasn't an authorized user on. Would those bad cards affect my credit history since it affects the primary person's credit history? Makes sense, right?
I see your point. If the primary person has some shady credit stuff going on in their history, you would think some of that shadiness would rub off on you. But no, this is not the case. As long as a credit card you're piggybacking on meets the criteria mentioned earlier, all is well. Credit accounts are like subway trains. Pretend there are multiple trains that take you downtown every 10 minutes. If one specific train has something you don't like on it, you can simply hop on the next one and avoid getting involved with that one. In the end, you still get where you want to go and avoid any complications. Keep this in mind when someone says they have a poor credit score. All it takes is one good credit card account for piggybacking to work. Once added as an authorized user and the lender reports it, you'll see an improved credit score even from someone with horrible credit.
Good to know. Anything else?
Make sure the card is used monthly. Some primary account holders just add you to a card that stays in a sock drawer. It's better to be added to a card that has payments reported each month. I always offer to maintain credit cards for primary account holders with $1 Amazon loads or buying a single banana at the grocery store each month with their card. If the primary person isn't using the card, I can ensure it stays open and the lender doesn't close it due to inactivity. Most lenders allow authorized users to add their bank info to auto-pay the credit card so it'll never be late, and the amount will always be small every month with this approach, which keeps the credit utilization very low. That's a win-win for the authorized user and the primary account holder. Payments are like currency when it comes to credit scores. The more payments you have reporting, the better your score. I'll have another video covering payment history that shows just how much a single 30-day late payment can affect a credit score. It is unbelievable. To summarize being added as an authorized user, be careful and strategic by following the rules explained in this video. Surprisingly, piggybacking is still a viable way to increase credit scores dramatically in a short time frame. However, I wouldn't be shocked to see lenders adopt more stringent credit risk models that may weed out applicants that are using the piggyback method to hack their credit score. But for now, it may make sense to work out an arrangement with the responsible credit user you've lived with. With the right approach, it's possible to use their credit history as a springboard to hit the ground running in your credit journey. So where are you at in your credit journey? Were you recently added as an authorized user? Which lender did you use and how long ago was it? Did it show in your credit history? Let me know in the comments. Have a question? Hit me up in the comments anytime. Hit it, Steve.